All right, hello everybody. Today I'm going to be doing a little mini math lesson to include with your math assignments, just to make sure that you understand everything and so we can have a little bit of extra practice before you get started on the practice problems. So I'm right here set up underneath the guided practice of today's lessons. And the first question is asking us, Nellie drew a group of rectangles and a group of trapezoids. How are her groups different? Okay, so let's draw a picture of each of these shapes just so we can make sure we know what the difference is. Let's see, how can I make this so you can see it? There we go. So here is a rectangle, and I'm going to make it small so we can fit other stuff. And then she also drew trapezoids. And a trapezoid is, I'm going to have to make it with lines here on my computer. Looks a little bit different than a rectangle. So here's my trapezoid. Almost there. Okay, here's my trapezoid. So let's look at these two shapes and think about how they're different. And if we look carefully at the angles, the spots where they're the corners, how are the angles different? Notice that we talked about this on Friday. Rectangles only have right angles, and they have 4 of them. A trapezoid doesn't have any right angles. And if I look at this trapezoid, there's 2 acute angles and 2 obtuse angles. So that's what I'm going to write right underneath. I'm going to say rectangles have 4 right angles. Let's move this into the center. Trapezoids do not. Make that a little bit smaller so we can fit it. Okay. How are rectangles and trapezoids alike? Well, we do know that both rectangles and trapezoids are quadrilaterals, which means they have 4 sides. So if we look carefully, both of these shapes do have 4 sides. Do they have 4 angles? Yes, both of them have 4 angles. So I'm going to put that right here. Oops. Both shapes have 4 sides and 4 angles. Okay, what larger group of polygons do all of Nellie's shape belong to? We already answered that. They both belong to the group of quadrilaterals because they have 4 sides. They both belong to the group of quadrilaterals. Actually, let's make that shorter just to save everybody time. I'm going to say quadrilaterals. They both have 4 sides. By the way, I know some of you are going to be wondering, Miss Ole, should I be writing this down? I hear your voice, Grayson, in my head. You can write it down. More than anything, I just want you to be watching this video and making sure you understand these questions so that you can answer them yourselves when you do the practice problems. So you don't need to write them down, but definitely be following along this video. Don't skip through this. Okay, so now this question here says, use the groups on page 818. Okay, that page is the solve and share page. And I'm not going to be able to pull it up on the screen here right now, but I'm going to tell you that group 1 is a group of rhombuses. Okay, a rhombus, see if I can draw it here in the corner, is a shape that looks, this computer really doesn't like me right now. Kind of like this. Oops. Come on. Yeah, I hear you, kitty. Please stop. I'm taking a video. Sorry about that. Okay, I am having trouble drawing a rhombus right now. Maybe I need to try a different strategy. There, that's the best I'm gonna get right now. Okay, that's a rhombus. And the other group is the trapezoids, which is this shape right here that I just drew. So, and I didn't really connect the lines. Make sure those are connected because otherwise it's not a closed shape, right? So it's saying draw a shape that belongs to Ethan's group 1. So I just told you the group 1 is a group of rhombuses. We need to draw another shape that belongs to that same group. And if you remember about rhombuses, we learned that a rhombus is a parallelogram, which means that all the sides need to, these two sides and these two sides need to be parallel to each other. I didn't do a perfect rhombus because look, these two sides aren't exactly parallel. So I'm going to try to draw a better one. And let's see if we can, nope, we don't want a star. Okay. So I'm going to make this line a little smaller. I'm going to make it go the other way because they can face any way I want them to. So here are two parallel lines. This is how I know I'm following the rule of rhombuses. I'm going to put them off center a little bit. And then I'm going to connect them with two other parallel lines. One and two. Okay. That's about the best I'm going to get, but you can see that they're pretty much parallel. So that is another rhombus that would fit into that same group. Okay, draw a shape that belongs to Ethan's group 2. So Ethan's group 2 are trapezoids. Trapezoids need to have one group of parallel sides. So if you look, these lines are parallel, but these lines are not, okay? So I can do that, but I don't have to make it the exact same shape as that other one, trapezoid. So I'm going to make two parallel lines. Okay, it's going off the side here a little bit, but that's okay. And then I'm going to connect those. And remember this, the other ones don't need to be parallel. Actually, I decided I want to make this the other way. Make this side smaller so it's like upside down. Okay, make sure you connect them. Okay. So notice how if I wanted to, I could even make one of these sides like this. And would this still be a trapezoid? Yes. Okay. So trapezoids don't have to have the same, these lines don't have to be the same. Okay. They can be different, but you need to have a pair of parallel sides. So this still belongs to Ethan's group 2. Okay. Last question. Why is there a square in group 1? So remember that a rhombus, one of the rules of a rhombus is that all of the sides need to be the same length, okay? So a square also follows that rule. A square needs to have all of the sides be the same length. If I tried to put a rectangle in Ethan's group 1 with the rhombuses, would that fit? The answer is no, because even though it has parallel sides, it doesn't have sides that are all the same length, okay? A rhombus, all of the sides are the same length. If I were to measure them with a ruler, they'd all be the same length. So what I'm gonna put here is all the sides are equal in a square, which is also, which means a square is also a rhombus. Okay, let's make sure we fit that into this question here. Okay, that's it. So what you're going to do next is you are going to answer these questions underneath. And your goal today is to try to notice patterns about these shapes. Okay, so I want you to look at these shapes and think about how are these shapes different from these shapes. Okay, notice the angles, notice the lengths of the sides, notice if there are parallel sides or not. It's going to be asking all of those things. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of a freebie here for the first question. One of the things that makes all of the shapes in group 1 different from group 2 is that all of the sides are the same length in group 1, but not in group 2. Okay, that's one little freebie answer for you. Okay, most of you will be answering this question online on the practice answer question, so you can refer to this when you do it online. Okay, don't forget to submit your answers.